name is Loic, and I'm a co-founder at ommake. The home building and home renovation industry is dominated by small businesses. These businesses are tasked with building your dream home and under loads of pressure to complete projects on time. Let's consider an example. Ben is an independent general contractor and owns his own company with 5 employees. Every day he works hard managing a team of subcontractors to coordinate building new homes or renovating existing homes. He currently uses text messages and phone calls to communicate with subcontractors and homeowners, but he finds himself constantly looking for old messages and often mixes up projects. Ben also uses these messages to write down schedules using pen and paper, then communicates them with the homeowner and subcontractors over the phone. As you can see, this process gets disorganized very quickly, and Ben is often overwhelmed by several projects which further complicates things. With millions of dollars worth of contracts, Ben can't afford to make mistakes. Existing solutions are too complicated for a small business owner to use. If Ben can't efficiently manage his communication, schedules, and invoices, his business loses contracts, credibility, and most importantly, money. Our web and mobile platforms provide customers with an easy-to-use and reasonably priced solution with communication, scheduling, and invoicing for contractors. With cloud integration, we enable shareable content production between various team members. This makes us different from existing platforms that include many features that small businesses do not use, are too complex to learn, or are way out of their price range. Our app is organized into 3 main sections. Our app is organized into 3 main sections. We have a messaging section that allows you to communicate with different groups of people. You can manage access to channels and create new channels as needed. Then we have a scheduling section that allows you to assign tasks and check updates from subcontractors. For example, you get updates when a subcontractor has started working on a task, completed a task, is on the job site, or leaves the job site. This allows us to automatically track the number of hours your subcontractors work with a nice summary on the subcontractor's profile. We also allow your subcontractors to send you invoices through the app. This means that you can manage all of your invoices through one easy-to-use platform. For our beta application, we'll be releasing a platform with messaging, scheduling, and invoicing features. Messaging channels facilitate organized communication. Scheduling allows you to easily coordinate subcontractors and track their progress. We will also host uploaded documents on the cloud so content is easily shareable between team members. We are offering a subscription-based service for $50 a month for unlimited projects. Initially, our service will have a 1-month free trial period in order to grab user interest. In our interviews with general contractors, the #1 way they found out about applications was through their social network. So we will incentivize contractors to recommend the app to others in their industry by giving them a free week for each general contractor that they get to join our platform. Through a free trial period, incentivized references, and targeted ads, we will try to get as many contractors on board as possible. All of the contractors we spoke to were willing to use our beta application. The majority had already evaluated similar products, but found them to be very difficult to use with too many complicated features. One of the contractors had even worked with an app developer to try and develop a similar solution, but it eventually fell through. According to the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard, the home improvement and home repair industry is worth $300 billion. This study also points out that the average size of remodeling companies fluctuates around 3 employees. A lot of their work is done through subcontractors that they need to manage. Although general contractors are the vertical we are focusing on, our product can easily be adapted for various other industries that routinely use subcontractors. We spoke to a systems integration company and they thought it would be a very useful tool in their industry, another potential market for our product. We understand that it is difficult for companies to migrate platforms, so we're planning to integrate our platform with tools such as QuickBooks. We're also planning to offer data migration tools to import projects from other management platforms. Our team has years of experience developing user interfaces. Rishab has worked as a software engineer in both server-side and mobile application development for almost 2 years, as the first employee of a Techstars company. I have 3 years of experience developing user-facing applications for a startup, Fortune 500, and a national lab. If you are interested, please talk to us about our product, check out our website, and sign up for our beta. Let's revolutionize the way general contractors manage their business.
Thank you.
4 minutes, 40 seconds. I'm the Chip. You want to go first?
Let me just try. So it's a couple of quick feedback points.
the demo seems a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just the way it's being presented, but it just doesn't give that sort of general feedback. It's just,
Yeah.
it's weird because usually they get really, those kind of demos are really engaging, but this one lacks
They're
something.
definitely working on a demo. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the plan.
Yeah. Then another piece of this, I actually thought the general slides and everything else look good. So they kind of it looked pretty good. It's just naturally reading off a sheet is less engaging, so you have to get to the point
Yeah.
of precedent. Okay, so those are the obvious feedback points. I guess questions though.
Want me to
I'll
do
pass
feedback
it
while you
like
think?
this,
Okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I think it might be interesting to talk about, so you talk about the GCs, they've got 3 employees, you talk about a bunch of subs, how many subs on average?
Okay.
I think that's an important number to know, because if it's like 2, then I'm thinking, there's nothing to manage here, but if it's 40, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a lot to manage. So I would include that number if it's relevant. How many projects do they typically work on at the same time? I think that number in there is important. You have a slide, that's where we come in. I think you should say that's where ommake comes in.
Okay.
Just kind of hit us with your brand again. The comment I had on the demo, so as you're redoing it, it did feel rough. I also had a comment here, move out of Google Slides. Because when you have, and this is for everybody, when you have the videos, Google Slides gets really confused between clicking to the next slide and clicking to play or pause the movie. Whereas you put that into Keynote or Presents or something, that is just so slick.
Yeah, so like we had autoplay working, but then like we changed the link for the demo. I think that got messed up. That's why like we just autoplay it and like wait for it to finish.
But this is like this is the bane of Google. Well, there's like 35 banes of Google Slides existence. This is one of them.
Right.
So I would encourage you to take it off into a more professional slide presentation. The biggest thing about the demo, I know you're redoing it. I know it's rough. And this again is advice for everybody. In your demo, it's really important. Don't tell me what you do. Don't show me what you do. Show me what you do for your customer. So the demo isn't for me. The demo's not for you. The demo is for your customer. So put literally, when we do this Techstars, I have companies put stickers on their laptops that say, don't tell me what you do, tell me what you do for your customer. And that's like prominent in everything you do. The demos where that really comes through. So for all of you, don't tell me what you do, because it's super easy in a demo to tell me what you do, because it's just right there in front of you. Like, oh, you click here, you get this. You click here, you get that. That's what we do. Because for me, when you talked about channels, like I had no idea what that does for your customer.
Gotcha.
It's like, oh, I imagine it's some messaging thing, but for your customer, what does that mean? So tell me, this is what it does for Joe. This is what it does for Joe. Joe's your contractor, right? Ben, sorry. This is what it does for Ben. This is what it does for Ben. The 300 billion, I would, that would rub me a little bit wrong, because it's kind of like, okay, great, congrats, you got a big number. What I thought was more appropriate is how many general contractors are there? Like you put the figures so I could do the math and figure it out, but I didn't know if it was Gaussian or power law, or so I couldn't completely do the math.
Okay.
And my brain just started spinning. How many GCs does that? Because what that is how many potential customers are there for you.
Right.
And then when you reveal that number, tell me about where you're gonna go first. Like, who are the early adopters in here? Is it Ben? Is it this profile? Is it that profile? Like, help me believe in you through your understanding of where to take this to market first. But I love that you changed out the like slick photos at the beginning for the little grittier ones that look more real. So that helped me a ton through the whole front part of the presentation.
Also for the demo, do you think it would be more useful if you did like a use case, like Ben is trying to do X, Y, Z, and like this is how he goes about doing it?
I think it's a much easier to understand,
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
And it forces you to think about it
Right.
through not what your app does, but the journey of your customer.
Gotcha.
It just tells a better story.
Yeah, I'll wrap up with just 8 questions. So who are the competitors that you guys have?
So there are 2 main competitors that we've seen. One's called Builder Trend, the other is called Co-Construct. And really the issue with those 2 businesses is that they're really complicated for small business owners, and they're also fairly expensive. One of the guys we talked to said, like, I just flat out can't afford to use the Builder Trend system because it's too expensive. One of the conversations we had. And then all the stuff that we've looked online with like feedback on the products is they're just like terrible to use. So, but that's where we're coming in is less features, easier to use.
Also, we're doing like a flat rate kind of thing, and these companies like gonna charge like per project. So like if you're doing like 15 small house projects, like you're gonna pay a ridiculous amount of money versus like
So in that answer, try and remove words like ridiculous amount of money
Yeah.
with a actual number.
Right.
It would help me identify like
Sure.
exactly how you differentiate.
Gotcha.
And the same thing with hard to use. I mean, we looked on reviews and these things generally got 2 out of 5 star reviews. And we saw 130 reviews, something like that, right?
Okay.
So back a little bit that with data and
Yep.
that sounds great.
Yeah, like yesterday, you guys said $400, right?
Yeah.
That was the number.
Yeah.
So that's a concrete number that you
Right.
can say, wow, that's too much for some people.
Yeah.
And so that's helpful. Also, just as a comment on demos in general, try to make sure that the contrast is
That washed out really
it
bad.
really washed out badly.
Yeah, the demo, right?
Yeah, the demo.
Yeah, so like there was an issue exporting and like for some reason the colors were messed up. I'm gonna go back and fix that. So
Yeah, high contrast is good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like what do you think about the slides?
The slides are great.
That's
Okay,
very
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are great. Demo.
thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks for the work.
Yeah.
Thank you.